Hello, my name is John Franklin, and I am doing this brief video at the request of the Toronto Journal of Theology in relation to an article I did for the current issue under the title Theological Education and the Arts. In this brief article, attention is given to the importance of the aesthetic for religious thought and also for religious life, and thus its value in the arena of theological education. The article also provides a review of the place of the arts at the Toronto School of Theology. In the first section of the article, I look at some threads of scholarship in the latter part of the 20th century and, of course, on into the first 2 decades of the 21st century. And these threads are cases where we see very significant contribution to this dialogue between theology and the aesthetic. The conversation, of course, is not new, but it did begin to gain momentum in the 1980s and shows increasing strength right up to the present. We have to acknowledge, I think, that the divide between theology and the arts has not disappeared. There is still what shall I say, a kind of silo approach to these two disciplines where they don't have much conversation together. However, many seminaries and theological institutions have made what we might call an aesthetic turn, and in so doing have opened the way for a more intentional engagement with the arts. The second part of the article explores the role of the arts in the Toronto School of Theology as an element in its 50-year history. The arts were not a strong presence in the early years of the Toronto School of Theology, though there were a few signs of interest in the curriculum. Over the past 20 years, however, there has been a number of events and courses that have provided an opportunity for an increased attention to the arts at Toronto School of Theology. The community at TST, I think, has benefited greatly from these events, whether they be visual art shows, panel discussions, conversations, and of course, a number of courses dealing with film, visual art, and so on. Most recently, this turn to the aesthetic at Toronto School of Theology has been manifest in the new Master of Theological Studies stream in theology, spirituality, and the arts. And there are plans underway for an art exhibition celebrating TST's 50th anniversary. In these and other ways, the landscape of the Toronto School of Theology is changing as they join with other theological institutions in giving voice to the arts and affirming the importance of both the aesthetic and, of course, of human imagination in the work of theology. I think this is a very important and often neglected area, and I'm very pleased to see how that it's of growing interest and growing presence in the community at Toronto School of Theology. I want to conclude by just expressing my gratitude to the Toronto Journal of Theology editor, Abraham Khan, for inviting me to do this article for this special issue, and also to thank him for his vision to see the importance of the arts as a component to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Toronto School of Theology.